Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for another podcast with Life Without Limits. I'm Melinda Duffy. This is all about real estate, business, and spheres of influence. And we are part of Pace Morby's community. We're in Owners Club, Gator. I've been a TC for almost 2 years. And we love to be able to highlight our colleagues and friends and to be able to help people in the community be able to learn new things, partner with other people, help each other grow each other's businesses. So that's really what it's about. So thank you very much, Pace, for all you do for the community and everybody in the Owners Club. Special group of folks, and enjoy partnering with many of you all. Today we have Kevin Day of Day to Day Resources, and Kevin is a super guy. Him and his son Jake are Gators and an Owners Club, and I am going to yield to him the floor. And Kevin, tell us about you. How did you get into real estate? And just kind of, give us an overview, and then, what you're doing now.
Will do. And thanks, Melinda, for having me on here. I really appreciate the time. I really like working with you in the past. We've been together for, I don't know, I guess we met up really early this year with Owners Club. So working through a lot of calls and going online, pulling lists, working together. It's been a lot of fun. So we got started, actually. It's kind of a funny story where I'm a mechanical engineer, been doing engineering consulting my whole career. And it was late one night. My son, Jake, comes home from college on a Sunday night, and it's like 10 o'clock or so, maybe even later. But I'm up in my office working away on the computer. And he comes up and he's like, what are you doing? And it's like, what do you mean? This is just life, man. You got to get used to it. You just got to work hard to win money, And he's like, no, that doesn't make sense. That's not happening. And he told me he's reading this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I was like, you're reading a book? Sorry, Jake. But no, it's true. It's like, he said, yeah, it's incredible. You got to read it. And so I did. And basically it flipped a switch in my mind and basically defined the whole part about the rat race, that you're just constantly grinding it out for someone else. It really kind of hit home. And especially being that Sunday night, I'm grinding away. And even though I've climbed the corporate ladder, it just doesn't stop. So, right. So it really flipped the switch. And so I dived into YouTube searching, about real estate investing and trying to partner up with Jake, since he started talking about dropping out of school. And it's like, oh, geez, kind of concerned about, that me and my wife, we know no other path and follow the normal course of school, college, work. So it's kind of terrifying, and then thinking he's going out on his own. It's like, okay, so maybe we'll partner up, because I want to be able to see if I can change my course as well, and then we can hopefully do that together. And so diving into YouTube, trying to find ways that we can. I really knew nothing about real estate before this, but trying to find something we can do together where I'm not doing all the funding and he's just tagging along, where we actually come in 50-50. And so we had some money stored away for his college that my wife's parents had saved up, like in a retirement plan when he was born. So built up a little bit of money. So we decided to use that as in my money, 50-50, and we joined Gator. So in the YouTube, how we got to Gator was so we came across Pace by looking for ways to get in real estate investing with little or no money out of pocket, because he has no money. And so coming up with creative investing, creative finance, sub 2, and all that kind of snowballed. But obviously the entry point to sub 2 was kind of above where we were at the point. And so we saw Gator as that first stepping stone to get in, learn about real estate, and then eventually, with the goal to eventually transition to sub 2. And so for that first year, we joined in May of 23, and basically focused on connecting investors to private money lenders for that first year. We had a pretty good year. We basically, covered our expenses, but we learned so much. It was invaluable. And then we went to Squat Up Summit, And obviously the owners club, it's like, you know what, let's ramp this up. Let's get this done. And so we, as we say, burned the ships and went all in. And so then shortly after that, we joined Sub 2 as well. So now we've kind of diverted away from the Gator connecting role and focusing primarily on acquisitions. So that's where we are now.
Awesome. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
The way that we are taught growing up. You go to school, you graduate, you go to college, you get a job. You're always working for somebody else, so you're always selling your time for somebody else. And like you say, it is a rat race, and it's what we call the golden handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I'm very familiar with that.
Me too. That's the way we grew up, and I think it's wonderful that you took that leap of faith to do something different and to be like, well, you know what? Maybe I should just try this, because too many people are too scared, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and that was one thing. I've always been more reserved and cautious, and I was a Dave Ramsey student, so to speak, for a long time. So it took a lot to make that change, to see money as a tool rather than something you need to hoard and save away.
Yes.
So it's been a really dramatic change in my outlook. But it's going through all the Pace Morby studies, and it's dramatically opened up my eyes on what the possibilities are.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about. It really is about shifting our own paradigm, the way we've been taught that, we've been taught a lot of great things, but we've been taught a lot of not so good things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it does get harder. The older we get, we're more averse to change, right? We want to stay comfortable.
Right. Exactly. And that's one of the challenges I still have is, as my wife will say, we got to this point, you worked so hard to get here. Why would you throw that away? And now, to be clear, I'm still working my full-time job, and doing this on the side. So yeah, I don't plan to ditch that until way beyond we're, offsetting, or build up that, passive income that it's, or maybe I can still do both at the same time. It's unknown at this point, but yeah, it's the challenge is doing that job plus the real estate investing is also now adding on to the time requirements away from home, so to speak. So, but it's been challenging, but we're starting to see things turn for the better and getting more opportunities flowing in that are actually really good deals. And so we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Things are starting to take off.
That's great. So tell us about how things are starting to take off, how things are transitioning. What are you seeing happening in your business right now?
Yeah, so right now we're at the end of our first BRRRR. We bought a property back in May with the intent of doing to do Section 8. Basically, it was an on-market deal, St. Louis, so bought it straight off the MLS. Did minor rehabs, basically cosmetic, and then we're now doing a refinance. And throughout the whole course, I made so many mistakes. It's your first one, So I originally thought, you know what, let's not rent it out. Let's flip it, get some quick cash. But of course, now the market has dipped. And so after, putting it back on the market and then getting nothing but lowball offers, we pulled it back off, decided to refi. And sorry, it's phone there. Decided to refi, and the beautiful part is with the refi we're doing, we're getting everything we put in and back out, plus an extra probably 10,000 on top. So, and this is a small problem. We bought it at 62. We put in about 35, and it appraised at 147. So we're getting 110,000 cash back. So we're able to pay off everything, pay off the credit cards that we use, our 0% cards we got from Gator approach, and get a little cash in our pocket. So, and we got our lender, the tenant, we got a lease signed, supposed to be signed moving in on Saturday. As long as the housing authority, everything's checked off, inspections done with housing authority, we just need them to sign the contract and she can move in. So, so that was going through all that stress and learning that we went through. To see that we're now at the end where it's going to pay off is really exciting. It's like, oh man, now all the stuff we've learned, we now have a list of what we, kind of mitigate that risk, cut down the time frame, and then just start being able to do it over and over and over and over again. So it's very exciting. And there's also some lending deals we've done that are about to pay off. And now doing like I was talking to you before, where we jumped into No One Left Behind just to get some more exposure to everyone in Sub 2 and see what everyone else is doing, and just kind of really hit the phones hard. And so now, yesterday I was out on site with the project with someone in Sub 2 where I found a seller off market through an agent. But basically got, started the negotiations, got brought in Ted Miller in our Sub 2, and then he worked out the negotiation of all the creative strategies for them to buy it, which being able to sit there front row watching the negotiations go back and forth and how they leveraged, you want this, I want this, how do we both win, and kind of finding that middle ground and coming up with really just making up stuff is what creative finance really is.
Right.
How would this benefit us both? And it was just amazing to see how his mind worked in working out the details of, okay, you want this up front, so we'll offset here. And it was just, so seeing that in action now, know how to kind of hopefully apply that to other deals we get directly. So
right.
Very exciting.
And that it is, and it is such a learning curve when you talk to somebody like that, and they can just, one after the other, and you're like, wow, now I'm really understanding how, one, you want to make it appealing for, for the seller, obviously. You want to have that give and take, like what you talk about, and Pace talks about, giving them what they want, but then on the flip side, making it to where it's a balanced give and take, where, okay, that works for you. This is your price. I'll give you your price, but I want the terms. This is what I want in my terms.
Absolutely.
And then also tax strategies, helping the seller understand, well, look, if you do it this way, then you're going to offset your tax strategy and your tax burden and X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And actually, I had that conversation today with a seller who was doing a flip. He must have bought it all cash, and it was like a $600,000 property on market, or $669. He bought it for $425 like 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, it's been on the market for a long time, like 70 days. It'd be perfect, seller finance deal. Then you don't have to pay all the taxes. And unfortunately, he's like, nah, I don't really know what that is. And I just want the cash. I was like, oh, man, but he's like, I can pay the taxes. I got to build the numbers. It'll be fine. Like, but you can avoid so much wasted money going to taxes.
Right. Why would you want to pay the government kind of money instead of earning it and it really working for your good?
Yeah. Yeah. So he's going to hold out. His plan is 1031. In worst case, he says he's paying the taxes. It'd be fine. But I put it on my CRM to follow up in 3 weeks, see if he's still on market. And so, hey, and he's going to he mentioned he'd probably look into what seller financing is. So I'll follow up again. Just keep in touch.
Yes. Keep dripping on them, forming that relationship, right?
That's right. That's right. Yep. Build the rapport.
Yes. Build the rapport. Mm-hmm. So you going back to you actually lending on some deals, are you currently looking to lend on deals? And if you are, what kind of deals and in what market are you looking for?
Yeah. So right now I've got 2 lending deals out right now. One, I got an NDA on that one. But it's another one is more of a bridge loan kind of thing. It's the first position where basically my funds are bought the plot of land that's already in a development plan that basically they're building out, and so they just need 4 months to get to the construction loan, and then they'll buy me or pay me back out, and then that. So that's I think that one's in Georgia, but primarily I'll be focused on deals that I know people in either in Owners Club, which the others, actually those two that I'm lending on are people in Owners Club that I know really well and trust.
Yeah.
So that's why those are out of state. Any other deals, I'll be focusing only in North Carolina for now, just so I can, meet the person face to face, go visit the project site, make sure things are tracking as they say they are, and be able to follow up myself. Historically, there's been some projects in the past where, it's, several states away, we can't keep track of everything, and some things have slipped. And so there's been some issues with some other deals in the past. So we definitely want to learn from that and be able to implement risk mitigation strategies, being able to, track and stay on top of them and know them personally. So,
right. Yeah.
So right now, primarily at this point, my funds are out deployed. What I'm now focused on until those come back are, do some EMDs, short-term, quick little bridge, 20, 30,000 kind of bridge loans, like the one we talked about yesterday. That was on site yesterday. I'll probably do the Gator loan for that one, where they're doing seller finance, and then I'll bring the down payment to the agent's fees and closing costs, and then when he does the refi in 4 months or less, then I'll get paid out. So it's a small little basically gap bridge loan kind of thing. So
cool. Very, very good. So also, are you looking to be able to invest in your own properties? What is that looking like as far as, are you trying to build your own portfolio? Are you doing fix and flips yourself? Are you doing BRRRRs? What are you doing for yourself?
Yeah, so the one we have in St. Louis, that's a BRRRR, obviously, that we talked about. So yeah, that one I used my HELOC to fund that and pay for, and I used my HELOC to buy it and do the initial part of the renovations, and then used our 0% credit cards to do additional, because there's always more expenses that you don't see, especially on your first one.
Yes.
But yeah, so in our acquisitions, we are looking for ones that we can buy and hold ourselves, or do fix and flips ourselves. But right out of the gate, we're going to try and wholesale a few.
Okay.
So we're still working on, we're working our processes out and still trying to get, where we can actually get good deals to actually get under contract. So right now we're looking at wholesale, and if it's right, then we'll, buy and hold or flip. We've got some partners locally that would be interested in partnering with us, that are experienced in construction and fix and flip. They have their own contracting company. They do flips all the time. And so I say, hey, if I bring the deal and fund it, will you do the work and we'll split? And they said, absolutely. So
nice.
We definitely want to try and find something for that. So.
Oh yeah. So for people that are listening to the podcast, viewers and investors, what areas in North Carolina are you looking to do that in?
So right now we're focused primarily on Wake County and Durham County.
Okay.
We are there are some other areas like Fayetteville, but all kind of within an hour and a half radius, or more of a good size kind of city, such as Greensboro, Fayetteville, and that. So that way we can, keep up with it, be on site, to go door knocking if we need to, and visit the projects regularly whenever we need, instead of having to drive. Charlotte will, it have to be just right for us at this point.
Right.
But we're definitely open if the deal is that good.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. What else do you need from someone potentially listening to this podcast? What are you looking for in your business that you need?
What I would love to have are some wholesalers that would bring creative deals to us. Obviously, I'm an engineer, so I am horrible on the phone. Give me a spreadsheet and I'm happy as can be. And I'll but yeah, trying to talk to people on the phone it's not my thing. So I can't, calling all day is not going to be my role. So ideally, I would love to meet some wholesalers that are really good at finding creative deals and bringing them in around that 10% entry and a good cash flowing opportunity. So that is our top thing, that we would love to be able to meet some wholesalers who can do that for us.
Okay. All right. And there again, you want wholesalers in that North Carolina area, Raleigh, Durham,
Yeah.
yeah, within an hour and a half of where you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will keep my ears open on that for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so then we'll flip it around. What do you have that other people would find that they prospectively might need?
So after being in Gator and acting as a connector for over a year, I've got a long list of private money lenders who would be willing to do, some do 100% financing, some will do, 80%, and allow second positions, or some will do second positions if you have a secondary collateral that you can leverage. So if you need funding through private money lenders and don't want to go the hard money route, I can definitely help you in those rounds.
Cool. Well, that's great to know, because I think that's probably one of the biggest asks is PMLs.
Yeah.
And
I've got several. Yeah, obviously, there's some that do 12% annualized for the shorter terms. Under 6 months, some of those might be a little higher rates, but
right
on that shorter term, it's not as big as expense. But so definitely have a long list of people I can reach out to help out.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Well, so Jake, I know that when we were in Boston, or before Boston, actually, he was trying to get into nailing down some pre-foreclosures and foreclosures. How is that going?
Well, he's been really focused on building our foundation, our operations. So we've partnered up with someone to be our integrator and develop our pipeline, our software, our CRM, and all that good stuff. And so he's been really focused on that. We got getting our processes down, and so he's been calling, using the new software we use, so we can go through, and he's got some really good leads. Actually, one of them here in Wake Forest, it's 2 acres of land. It's got 3 properties, 2 duplexes, and a house that we're trying to get. And it's fully paid off. They're ready to sell. It was off market, and so he's working that deal. And it's like, that's one of those that if we can get that to land, that would floodgates will open. So we're really excited about them when he's negotiating some creative deals, some seller finance options on that one. So we're doing underwriting. We're going to figure out how to rezone it to get maximum value, to kind of probably take those down and put up row houses right around that area. There's lots of them going up. So we're really excited about that one. And so he's been finding those kind of off-market deals right now. And going through some of these podcasts and talking to other people who really experienced, pretty much everyone says, start out, focus on one thing only.
Yes.
And so Jake and I had a meeting the other day, and like, you know what, instead of just shooting arrows all over the place, let's focus on one thing. And pre-foreclosures seems to be, someone needs to sell, or they are highly motivated, and, they have all the boxes checked that, the highest opportunity to potentially sell. Where we've been calling these on market with the agents, low equities, talking to the agents who have no idea what they're doing and have no interest in actually presenting creative offers to their sellers. It's like, why are we banging our heads against the wall? Let's go to someone who actually needs help. And so we've now focused on only pulling lists for pre-foreclosures as of this week. So I was actually calling those today. So of course, the challenge with pre-foreclosures is everyone's calling them, and now they don't answer the phone. So I've now looked up some on Facebook and sent them Facebook messages, sent some emails. So trying to find other ways to get in contact with them. And the other good thing, since they're local, I'm going to map out some properties nearby and start going door knocking tomorrow. So
that'll be good.
Yeah. So hopefully get some movement going. But so just got to get the reps in.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it's all about. And
Mm.
might not be good on the phone, but now you're going to test yourself in person.
Yes, yes. And
But then,
I think I do okay in person. I don't know
yeah,
what the
you
difference.
do. Yeah.
But on the phone, I don't know what it is. I'd start pacing, and it's awful. It's pretty bad. It's pathetic. So,
No, you'll do great because
yeah.
the other thing, especially with being an engineer and
Mm.
your personality, people won't be looking at you like, what are you trying to do here, or you're like
Yeah.
dishonest or some scammer or anything. You're
Mhm.
What you see is what you get, and that comes through. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think you'll do great in person.
Yeah. We'll see. But
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's great.
Mhm.
I think it's great. And
Yeah. What about
is
you?
there,
What have you been up to?
oh, just, working on getting my YouTube channel up and running.
Mm.
And also just trying to connect with people to do some TC work, and helping other people kind of connect and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
April Elias and I are accountability partners, and she is fantastic. Her and I just click. And so, with doing stuff like this and making sure that we are on the right track and making sure that we get, we're working on our homework for Owners Club, that kind of thing. It does make a big difference. And I
Yeah.
had been wanting an accountability partner, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. I need to leverage that a little more often as well. Trying to
Yeah.
squeeze in time to do it
Yes.
is it's a challenge, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to
Yeah.
be done.
Yes, it is, because that's the
Yeah.
way we move forward.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's so easy to get stuck, and then you run into the holidays, and then
Mhm.
it's some of where you've got family, you've got other things going on, and you can kind of stall out a little bit.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So now's the time to put the pedal down and you know get ready for the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I've been on holiday. Our work shut down from Christmas to New Year, so I've been gr- cranking on making calls, doing outreach, and started recording my calls now on Zooms and stuff. So
Good.
trying to keep things moving forward.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Cool.
great.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great podcast. I know that people are going to really enjoy what you have to say, and I think that it would be good to have people reach out to you, which I
Mhm.
expect that they will, because this is a community about partnering together, and we know how it is when we're looking for something and somebody is like, "Hey, I need this," and it just works.
Yeah.
So um, I look forward to seeing what you and Jake are going to be doing in 2025, because I bet it's going to be outstanding.
Yeah. To see his growth over the last year and a half is it's incredible. It's very
Yeah,
exciting. Yeah,
yeah,
things are really starting to ramp up and falling into place. And so I see it's that slow, like getting that flywheel started, and
yes,
that's just going to keep getting faster and faster. So
that's right. That's
mhm.
right. Really getting that momentum and hitting the tipping point. We all hit that point where all of a sudden everything just goes. Like you say,
Yeah, right.
if you can get that one deal, then that opens the doors for a lot of other things.
Exactly. So,
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today on this podcast with Kevin. Kevin, thank you so much again for coming on and sharing your story, and also putting it out there to connect with other people.
mm,
Uh, this is about building our spheres of influence, and this is where we help each other build each other's businesses and also enrich our own lives, even from a personal standpoint. So definitely appreciate your time today, and look forward to seeing what you all do in 2025.
Yeah. And thank you so much for having me on. I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. It has been a privilege. All right. Thanks again, Kevin. Everybody, we'll see you on the next podcast, Life Without Limits. Thank you very much.
Thank you.